Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Angelique.
We had a question that came up on the group this week, and the question was, were Abraham and Sarah Noahides or Jews? And the question was asked in the light of observance of Shabbat and other Jewish specific Jewish mitzvot.
Okay, thank you for the question. So first, Abraham and Sarah were Noahides until Abraham was 99 years old, when Hashem asked Abraham to be circumcised, and from that day onwards, he became a full-fledged Jew. So to Sarah at the same time became the first Jewish woman, technically speaking. Okay, 99, Abraham and Sarah became the first technically revealed Jews on the face of the planet amongst humanity. Now, your second question. They were already observing throughout their lifetime different Jewish commandments, namely, as you mentioned, lighting the candles for Shabbat and baking the challah for Shabbat and observing eating matzah on the 14th of Nisan and celebrating even Shavuot. How is this possible if eating matzah happened only 400 years afterwards? Only Pesach was 400, and how could Abraham already be celebrating the 14th of Nisan and eating matzah on that night? And how was possible that Sarah was lighting Shabbos candles? Shabbos candles are a rabbinical commandment. They're not from the Torah, they are from the rabbis. So how is it that Sarah was already lighting Shabbos candles? Now, we need to understand and distinguish clearly two things. There is a technical aspect that needs to be understood by everyone that is listening to this answer in a very clear and objective way. When Hashem, he is the one that started and said to Abraham, now you're going to be circumcised and you become a full-fledged Jew in the world. That means that you are now obligated upon the 613 laws, and this is how you're going to serve me and reveal my light in the world. Okay, this is a technical aspect that came from Hashem, not from Abraham. Abraham did not decide that now I'm going to go from serving God as a Noahide and now serving God as a Jew. Okay, it does not come from him. So first and foremost, a person that is a Noahide, he has the 7 commandments plus all the commandments that the intellect dictates, like honoring one's father and mother, restituting a lost object, giving charity, not crossing breed different species of animals or vegetables, and so on. There's a big list that I set as 90 laws, so you can all have access in the description of this video, the detailed list of it. Now, that's first point. Second point, you can still ask, oh, but Abraham and Sarah were already observing Jewish commandments before they were already decreed technically as Jewish. How is that possible? So first and foremost, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, fulfilled the entire Torah before it was given on Mount Sinai, including the mitzvah of Eruvin, which is to set a perimeter around the city before Shabbat enters in order to be able to cook, okay, in a Yom Tov, to enter into Shabbat. Okay? So, how is it possible? And I will answer to you this, and everybody, I think that this will help everybody to understand clearly that which was supposed to become revealed was already there in potential. Okay, so they observed the entire Torah. It was in a different way before than after the Torah was given. The Torah, when the Torah was given, it was the mitzvot were physical and that they will impact the world. Before the Torah was given, the commandments were observed by our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but in a spiritual way. The spirituality that they will reveal from the Torah would not impact the world in a permanent manner. It would go back to its source. Immediately when they stop doing a commandment, the divine light would go back to its source. It would not remain in this physical world. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is the following. You do now understand, every sincere Noahide, first and foremost, he will wait for that moment, so to speak, as Hashem reveals himself to him and says, now you're going to be a full-fledged Jew. Every Noahide that is a sincere Noahide, if he really listens to the voice inside of his heart, and that can be through giving a phone call to a rabbi and properly discussing things, okay? You don't need to remain in the gray area. He will know when the time is the time. Secondly, you will see that every sincere Noahide that one day wants to, if he will convert, that shows that in potential he was already a Jew. Okay? Like Abraham. It was just not revealed to the world. That does not mean that a person, a Noahide, should ever observe and take upon himself on a voluntary, deliberate way to start observing Shabbat and to start observing the holiday of Passover and to start putting a mezuzah on his door. Not at all. If it comes from the person, in this specific context, it is not valid at all. It has to come from Hashem, like we have studied in the discussion of Shavuot. Aniya matchil, when Hashem starts the revelation, it has to come from on high. Okay? When a person, if a sincere Noahide gets to a certain point where he says, okay, I have spoken with the rabbi a number of times, they rejected me, they pushed me away, and now I was strong and I remain, I still want to convert. When it comes the right time, a person wants to convert, then he can start keeping the Jewish commandments, 99%. Okay? So I think this clarifies your two questions.
Thank you for the time and thank you for the answer. So next week, next question.
Bezat Hashem, looking forward.